pain-free the natural way, I'd like to talk a little bit about your hips. Pain from your hips can not only be in the front, the side, or it can be down deep underneath. We're going to address the muscles that surround the hip to strengthen them and stretch them. The most important muscle that tends to give people problems is the outside hips, glute med, which tie into our iliotibial band or IT band. We're going to start a stretch by placing one leg solid and crossing your ankle behind. Turn your toes upward and arch that foot. Slide your hand over your head and reach downward. Now, not only will you feel a stretch up the rib cage, but I also want you to feel a stretch through your hips. So press your hips and pelvis to the side until you feel that stretch. We're going to hold this 10 seconds. Great job. Let's do the other side now. Stand forward, take your ankle behind, bring the toe up, hand over the head, slide down the body, and push your hips out to the side. Hold that for 10 seconds. Really feel a deep stretch. Now, when I tell you about feeling deep stretch, remember, it's not to the point of pain, but to the point of release. Great. The next stretch we're going to do is to turn your toes inward and press the hips back. You're really going to drive the tailbone upward, contract the abdominals, and if you like, you can put your hands on a ball or a bench, or if you have the flexibility to reach them all the way to the floor. Feel the stretch coming all the way back up and around those legs. From here, we're going to rotate down into a lunge, stretching the heel back, bringing the chest upright. Really feel the chest lift, arm up. Feel the stretch through that thigh. Now lower the knee and push the hips forward. You can put a pillow, a mat, or a cushion under that knee if you're feeling pain. The next movement would be to lean forward and drive the heel up. Whether you can hold the foot or not, you may need a towel or grab onto your pants. Again, hold your stretch for 10 to 30 seconds. The next will be taking your hips back and drawing your toe upward. You're going to feel a little stretch around the hamstrings and hips, and definitely behind the leg. Turn to the front, and let's stretch out that inner thigh. Push the hips back till you feel a stretch deep inside that inner thigh. There's a lot of dimensions to the hip. We have to think about the muscles all the way around the leg. And now let's come up and do the other side. Start with the knee forward, hand on the ground, extend back into a lunge. This is very similar to yoga and warrior pose. Press the hips under, pull the belly in, lift tall and strong, and hold for 10 counts. Reach down into the ground and lower the knee. Feel more stretch as you press the hips forward and slowly lift the heel up. Again, just like the other side, if you can reach back for that heel, go right ahead. If not, you can use a towel or a rope to pull that ankle in. The pressure should not be on the kneecap, but more on the front of the thigh. Release the leg and extend back into those hips to feel a stretch coming under and behind the leg. Lastly, turn to the front and push your hips back. Feel the stretch through the inner thigh. Your foot is flat on the ground at this point and really feeling a stretch. Now that we've started to open up the hips a little bit, let's strengthen them. We're going to come up and take the extra cuff or a band and tie it around our ankles. Now the flat bands can be knotted and held into place, or for simplicity's sake, you can take an extra cuff from Spry and step in the circle. Add the Velcro around your ankles. And then you're going to take this to a stand. And we'll do monster walks side to side. Let's do about 20 monster walks. And they're just a big step, feeling this through the outer hip. Bend the knees and aim the hips back. Halfway there. That's it. 2 more. You're going to work forward and at an angle for those hips for the next set. Really feel your hips working. We're going to do 1 more. And of course, the other side. Up and back. Now there are literally dozens of exercises to help strengthen your hips. These are just a few of my favorites. Five more. You can really feel this working. And we'll take that off. It's important to stretch the external hip rotators as well as work on them. The stretch that you can do seated is crossing your heel over your knee and then gently bringing your chest forward. You're going to feel the stretch right under here into that hip. Try and extend the spine and keep the chest upright. Hold your stretch for 10 to 15 seconds. And release, change legs. This is another great stretch that if you're sitting at your desk for long hours, to just cross the leg up and stretch over. Extend the spine and really feel the hips open. The last exercise you should do standing is just a single leg balance. This will help strengthen the muscles around the hips. From basic yoga of just lifting the knee and rotating out, or holding the leg out to the side, which is what we're doing today for 15 seconds. And close, other side, bend the knee, turn it out, and extend and lift. Work your balance. And release. Let's take it down to the floor and show you a little bit of foam rolling or myofascial release. You can use a foam roller, a softball, or a soccer ball, whatever you might have. You'll start by laying on the hip, and the foam roller is going to go from the top bony part of your hip just above the knee, staying slightly forward on that soft tissue. Now rolling on this brings pressure and circulation to the muscle tissue, which helps release it from the joint. The tighter a muscle, the tighter pull on the joint. Take about 5 to 10 rolls on each leg. And switch sides. And extend the leg and roll. That's it, we're almost there. Another foam rolling exercise to really get it deep in the hip comes from that piriformis stretch we talked about earlier. Cross the heel over the knee, drop the knee down, And then the big part of the hip, roll. Again, the myofascial release does help break up the connective tissue that sticks to the muscle and holds the muscle in place, keeping it tight. Change legs, bring the knee up and over. Repeat on the other side. You're going to find that this one feels pretty good. The next exercise is again another stretch. We're going to work on this hips opening, knees to the side, and just open the hip and working deep into glute med. You can take your spine all the way down to the floor, and again, we'll do about 12 to 15. And the next exercise, we'll extend the top leg and the bottom and lift both legs up. Two more. And the last exercise, we'll bend the knee, open it, and we'll concentrate on the inner thigh lifting up. And then over to the other side. Start with knees bent, head down and open. Really think of squeezing and lifting. And extend the legs, lift them both together. And the last exercise is knee open and lift the bottom leg. So we've worked the outer thigh, the inner thigh, the front of the thighs, and the back of the thighs at this point. Now we better do a few more stretches. Bend the knees, bottom of the feet together. And this one really helps open up the hips. Get even in your sits bones, sit nice and tall. Reach forward, drop the head, and just let your body weight come forward, opening up the thighs. You can press your elbows down into the knees to help deepen the stretch. It really feels good. And one of my other favorites is cross one knee under, one leg over, and then just rotate the body back into spine twist. You'll feel a little stretch down into the hips. And release, and let's do the other side. You can really feel this down deep in your hips. And release. Ah, that feels so much better. Stay pain-free the natural way.